What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and it's time for my Week 5 New Year's 6 predictions. And I tell you what, it's tough. It is tough to try to figure out these bowl games right now. We're starting to learn more about a lot of these teams, but there's still a lot of uncertainty and a lot of close games or competitive games that I think we're going to see throughout the rest of the year that are going to determine, which teams make it into that top group and make it into a New Year's 6 bowl. This is my predictions, again, heading into week 5. Made a few changes, and again, don't feel confident about these predictions. If you missed my playoff predictions, I did those yesterday. I went through the playoff field and all the way to the championship game, did my playoff predictions. So we're not going to spend much time on those. I'll run through those two, and then we'll go through the rest of the New Year's 6. So we start with the Peach Bowl, one of the college football semifinals. I've got Georgia versus USC. Georgia going undefeated. And then USC, I have them losing one game in the regular season, but then bouncing back and winning the Pac-12 championship. So with one loss, they would get in as the 4 seed. And then the 2 versus the 3, Ohio State going undefeated, winning the Big Ten. Clemson winning the ACC with one loss puts them at number 3. And so that's the matchup there in the Fiesta Bowl. All right, let's go through the rest of the New Year's 6 bowls. And this one's the one that has not changed at all. Rose Bowl, still Michigan versus Utah. This hasn't changed since, I guess the first week, maybe even in the preseason. I don't think I've changed this pick. I still have Michigan winning the Big Ten, Utah winning the Pac-12, or not winning the Pac-12, but being the next highest ranked Pac-12 team behind USC. So I've got Utah versus Michigan here. I think my preseason prediction was actually maybe Oregon in the Rose Bowl. I can't remember now, but I know for several weeks now that we've gotten the season underway, it's been Michigan versus Utah here for me. USC again going to the playoff. USC the next highest ranked team. But back to Oregon. Oregon's a team that I think has a really good chance to get into the New Year's 6, and they might even get to the Rose Bowl. It's tough to, like I said, with USC, Utah, Oregon, and maybe even Washington, who's going to be that highest ranked Pac-12 team. Assuming USC does go to the playoff, or whoever, one of these teams gets to the playoff with one loss, who's going to be that next highest ranked team? It's really tough, but I think Utah maybe is able to beat USC in the regular season, but then they lose in a rematch. That's kind of how I see it playing out. But Oregon definitely right there. I think Oregon's right there, and we cannot count out Washington. Washington looking good so far. Sugar Bowl for me, I think Alabama sitting there with 2 losses. They lose one regular season game. They lose to Georgia in the SEC championship. I talked about this on my playoff prediction video. If Alabama goes out and blows out Arkansas and they look like the team that we thought they were going to be, I'm probably going to put them back into the playoff. Probably going to say that they'll go undefeated in the regular season. But they've got several tough games on the road this year. And if they do have some vulnerabilities, I could see them losing one of those games. So that puts them in the Sugar Bowl, the highest ranked SEC team remaining after Georgia goes to the playoff. And then the Big 12, I mean, just put the names in a hat and draw one. I don't know who's going to win the Big 12. And just to be honest, I thought Oklahoma was the team, but after seeing them against Kansas State, after seeing them struggle even against some lesser competition at times, you have to wonder if they're going to be able to really push through the Big 12. Just so many competitive games, so many quality teams. I don't think there's any easy wins in the Big 12. This is as deep as the Big 12 has ever been. When you've got Kansas out there at 4-0 looking like a really good team, Iowa State's better than I thought they were going to be. Texas Tech's a quality team. Kansas State, we just saw what they did to Oklahoma. I think West Virginia's overrated. I mean, this Big 12 is so deep. You could have the champion finish with 3 or 4 losses very easily. And again, I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it's Oklahoma State. Maybe Texas bounces back. Maybe it is Oklahoma. I think we need a few more weeks to really get any clarity on that Big 12 race. But I'm just going to go with Baylor. They looked good last week. I don't really have a great reason for picking Baylor, honestly. That's my pick right now. So Alabama versus Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. All right, next we go to the Orange Bowl. NC State versus Tennessee. So if Clemson goes to the playoff, I think NC State is that highest ranked ACC team. A good chance for them, I think, to go 10-2 this year. And I think that's going to put them ranked high enough to where they would be the ACC representative. Watch out for Florida State. Florida State could maybe get into this conversation. I'm kind of giving up on Miami, so I don't think they're going to be here. And then Tennessee, maybe the highest ranked team out of the SEC or you can go SEC, Big Ten, or Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame is going to be there. Tennessee out of the SEC, maybe even look at Kentucky possibly, or Ole Miss. I mean, Texas A&M, after beating Arkansas, maybe they can climb back up. It's hard to say, but I think Tennessee looks like the best team right now. A schedule that gives them a chance, especially if they can beat LSU. I think they will get into the Orange Bowl if they beat LSU. And so I think we see NC State versus Tennessee here in what should be a really fun matchup. Also, out of the Big Ten, watch for Penn State, maybe even Minnesota. If they're able to go 10-2 or so, maybe they could get into that conversation. But I'm actually going to put Penn State into the Cotton Bowl. So I've got Penn State as an at-large, and then Cincinnati is the highest-ranked Group of 5 champion. Still just haven't seen anyone else out of the Group of 5 teams that makes me think they're going to be better than Cincinnati or ranked higher than Cincinnati. Bearcats, I mean, Luke Fickell's doing a great job, and this is still a great team, great program. I think they win the American. They go to the Cotton Bowl, and then Penn State, the highest-ranked team. Maybe a 10-2 record for them, or even 9-3 might get them there. Was looking at BYU, maybe they get to 10-2. Talked about Oregon earlier, Florida State out of the ACC. There are definitely a lot of teams that are going to be in the running. Whereas before, I thought, who's going to be that 12th team? It's we've got our 12 teams at the top. I don't really see anyone else getting into this race, into this conversation. And now it's like there's 15, 18 teams in there that could have a really good shot at getting to a New Year's Six Bowl. So it's going to be really fun as we kind of narrow that down and the season progresses. But these are my picks for right now as we head into Week 5. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to give me your picks on who you think is going to make it to the New Year's Six Bowls down in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports College Football Channel.